You know, I was looking for a project, and at the time I was really inspired by a lot of films that were coming out in 2004. Dogtown had been released, and The Devil and Daniel Johnston was another one that I thought was really great. And knowing Bob and knowing of his music, I was always really inspired by him personally as a singer-songwriter. And so when I approached him and I heard what he was currently doing, it just, you know, it was one of those moments where I thought that was really going to work out, and so we started working together. It's my directorial debut, but I produced a film called We Live in Public that was directed by Andi Timoner, so not my first film, but it is my first baby. It took 6.5 years to complete, so it's a very strange process to have your little room and you're there with your project, and then to bring it out to the world and have audiences respond to the film and to Bob has been really encouraging. I had moved to Los Angeles as a teenager, but I actually came back to New York City and wanted to come out of New York City as a television producer. And so I had aspirations to do that, and I ended up getting a job at Saturday Night Live, and I worked under Jim Signorelli, who was the film unit director. And so their 25th anniversary special, Jim had mentored me and had me shoot footage of the show for a week at Saturday Night Live. And so that really was when I was bit by that bug. I was really attracted to having a camera and being a fly on the wall and watching people in their lives. And so that was the beginning of my career as a filmmaker. You know, I went back to Los Angeles and I started collecting gear. I stayed in television production, and I bought a camera when I could, I bought lights when I could, I bought editing gear when I could. I just collected stuff whenever I could get a deal from some of my producers in television. And so once I had a little kit together, I had some people show me how to hook it up, and I found Bob, and that was it. You know, I set out to make my first film. In that midway point, I think I hit a wall, as a lot of people do, but at that point I reached out to some filmmakers that I respected, and I got in touch with Andi Timoner at Interloper Films, and we began producing We Live in Public together. And so that was a fabulous experience. It won Sundance and opened up a lot of doors for me. And ultimately was what made me be able to finish Bob and the Monster. When somebody had asked me early on in the process, she's a filmmaker, like mentor, she said, "How do you want your audience to feel when they walk out?" And I said, encouraged to get over hurdles in their own life, encouraged to push themselves further, inspired to be mad for living, to find a passion and to keep that thing that keeps you burning for life. To walk away with even a little bit of that from Bob is what I hope for. And so when I hear that coming back in the audience, as you heard last night, that's happening. And so there could be nothing better than that for me. That's exactly why I made the film. And to see it come full circle, and to see those faces, and to see people inspired by Bob and inspired by the film, job well done.